Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name is Heather and I'm here in Tivoli, Italy on vacation, but I'm attempting to try to move here. So as I'm going through this process of moving to Italy, I wanted to share a little bit of this journey with you guys. So this is going to be the first video that I am making in documenting my experience. I currently live in the United States. I'm an American. I was born in Las Vegas. And yeah, I've lived there most of my life. I've moved around a couple of times, Seattle, LA. Where else have I lived? I think that's it. Anyway, I've tried to get out of Las Vegas many times. And it just hasn't really stuck. Nowhere has really felt like home to me. And so just last year I decided to start traveling the world. And, I had a little bit of money saved up, and I decided that this was something that I thought would be worth it to spend my money on. It can sit in savings, it can sit in a bank account, or you can use it to realize your dreams and live your life and have awesome experiences. So that's what I did. I've traveled to every continent, well, almost every continent. I don't think you can go to Antarctica at this point. But I traveled all over the world. I've been to amazing places. I've stayed in incredible, hotels and Airbnbs, and I have a ton of photos and videos that I love looking back on. And just knowing that I've been to these places has been the experience of a lifetime, and I'm super grateful to myself for having the courage to do it as a solo traveler and not to be afraid, and just to see what was out there and see if I could find myself in different countries and see if I can find new things that I like to implement into my life and maybe leave some old things behind that American culture has ingrained in me. And of course, if you're a solo traveler, or if you've traveled the world at all, with friends, family, whatever, that traveling brings up a lot of anxiety, and it brings out a lot of things inside of you that you didn't know were there. I know a lot of you know this, and so that's why traveling can be really addictive to some people, myself included, because if you're on a path of self-discovery, spiritual enlightenment, whatever you want to call it, if you really want to get to know yourself, the best thing you can do is travel the world. So that being said, I recently decided to travel to Italy because my family was Italian. They immigrated to the United States, to New York. With a lot of the Sicilians, there was a mass immigration in the 1900 to the 1920s ish. There's a lot of Sicilians that moved to New York for a new life, and they got into the American culture and were completely assimilated and everything like that by like the first generation. So by the time that my mother was born, they were completely assimilated into American culture, and there was like no remnants really of Italian culture left in my family. So we're quite a bit Italian, because I think second generation. My grandfather was born in New York, but he was an Italian citizen when he was born. So I have a lot of Italian blood inside of me, and I wanted to see, by coming to Italy, if that was the case, if I could see myself reflected in the people here. And that's exactly what happened. I met an amazing person who, I don't know if I fell in love with him or what happened, but there's a strong soul connection with a man out here. And not only did I fall in love with the architecture of Rome and all of the art and masterpieces that are in Italy, not only did I fall in love with the food and the culture and the people, I fell in love with a man. And so it just seemed to me like it was very natural for me to attempt to move to Italy. All of that suffice to say that I'm here now. I'm currently in Tivoli, which is just outside of outside of Rome. I'm a little tired today, so you guys have to excuse me. But yes, I'm in Tivoli now, and I've been here for almost a month now. I planned on coming here for maybe 2 weeks, but of course, when the 2 weeks was up, there was like no way I could go back home and be happy. So I started looking for a job out here, and I started looking into visa options and things like this, and it's been extremely, extremely difficult, as I know a lot of you have experienced, especially if you're American, because it's more difficult to get into the Italian system if you're not an EU citizen. So yes, I'm here in Italy. I'm probably going to be here just for a little while longer. I have to go back to the States at some point in my normal life, but I wanted to share this experience with you guys, and this is just the first video probably of many, but I wanted to share, today I wanted to share a poem that I wrote, and I am no poet, but I wanted to, probably just for me, to look back on later, to see how I was feeling during this time, because it's a very important and pivotal time in my life, and so I wanted to document this. So thank you all for allowing me to show up and express myself. So okay, here we go. I entitled it The Cosmic Dancer, and if any of you know who Shiva is, he's the god of transformation. He's the cosmic dancer in Hindu philosophy. Yes, I was very much feeling Shiva energy during this moment that I had at the cafe, at the coffee bar this morning. So thank you for letting me share this with all of you. Hopefully it's helpful and has some little wisdom nuggets for you. That's my intention. Okay, The Cosmic Dancer. When life says you're not ready yet, there are two types of people: those who buckle under pressure, silence their inner desire, and admit defeat. And then there are those who buckle down, who stay the course, and fight even harder for their dreams. Personally, I would rather look back and think, I can't believe I did that, rather than, I wonder what would have happened if I actually took that risk. This personal philosophy is an anchor in my decision-making and my ability to confidently jump when life asks, whoa, are you sure about that? Sometimes your dreams won't unfold unless you try harder. But sometimes it's best to stay the course and remain where you're wanted. It takes wisdom and experience to be able to determine the difference. But it takes personal accountability to move when you know that you ultimately cannot be satisfied in the place that you're at. It takes courage to forge your own path, but it also takes strength to release control, to wholeheartedly commit to the life that chose you, and to stay where you're at. It takes wisdom and discernment to be able to determine this difference, because one choice can change the trajectory of your entire life. It takes courage to walk into the wilderness and forge your own way, rather than to choose the well-lit, heavily trodden path. And at times, it takes more courage to release that control, to sit back and let things in life choose you. Now I am forever dancing between worlds. I am determined to fight for my desires because I wholeheartedly believe that we each deserve the life of our dreams. However, I also have faith and trust that what is meant for me will find me in the right time. What a beautifully complicated paradox this life can be. I pray every day for some streetlight or signpost to guide my way, but there truly are none. Only the faint twinkling of my soul's North Star and the burning desire within the embers of my own heart. And so it is the case that I am forever dancing the line between courage and faith, with the light of my heart as my only guide. I can only hope that my prayers are heard and considered in the great vastness of the void. I can only hope that my life may be an example and my actions be useful to others in the grand scheme of life itself. So what does this mean? I hope it resonates with some of you. You know, I know that there are some of you that are unsatisfied where you're at. And I know that some of you can't or feel like you can't make any decisions to progress in the situation that you're in. I understand. I know what it feels like to throw a bunch of pasta at the wall and see what sticks. I thought that was relevant because we're here in Italy. Sorry. Sorry about that. But anyway, I've thrown everything at the wall here. I've tried student visa. I've tried what they call the Schengen shuffle idea. Living here 90 days and then living elsewhere 90 days, preferably somewhere in Europe like the UK, who's not in the Schengen zone. I've tried work visas. I've gone on 3 job interviews to teach English here. I'm currently working through a master's degree in linguistics, and I'm studying the Italian language. You have to be at a specific level to even be considered relevant around here. You know, you have to speak at least a B2 level Italian to even be taken seriously. I've also tried applying for a long-term lease here. I completed, the entire walkthrough of the house in Italian, phone calls to real estate agents completely in Italian. Somehow I have done that. I'm going on job interviews. I have, I don't know if he's a boyfriend at this point. We've said that that's what it is, but who knows what is going on here. It's a different culture, and so I'm trying to figure out it's totally different. Things are just different, which is great, but it's very confusing at the same time. So I've also thought about, maybe committing in a relationship to a person and possibly getting married down the road. And that could be a path to citizenship as well. Obviously that's going to take some time because I think I like him more than he likes me, which is a really uncomfortable situation to be in, by the way. But that's neither here nor there. There's a bunch of different avenues that you can go down to obtain citizenship or at least long-term residency, the ability to stay for a year or so. And just my own personal piece of advice, I've talked to a lot of people out here, a lot of locals and a lot of people who are trying to get citizenship here. And different people have a lot of different information, which you kind of all piece together in your own tapestry of knowledge. But I've heard that the student visa is the fastest way to obtain residency, at least here in Italy. You can, I believe, bypass the whole immigration, the Italian embassy appointment process, which is near impossible to get an appointment at the Italian embassy in the States. My Italian embassy is Los Angeles. I also go to school at Arizona State, so I could apply in Arizona. And also there's one in San Diego, which is an honorary consulate for Los Angeles. So I've gone through 3 cities to try to get an appointment. They're never open. So long story short, the student visa, I believe the educational institution has the ability to bypass this appointment system. So this is probably going to be the way that I'm going to be able to stay here. Yes, so I hope, if you're tuning in, if you're still here, as I'm saying this, another job interview has just come up on my screen for later today. Yes, so if you're still here and you're still interested in this information, it could possibly be because you're looking for a way to come to Italy and to stay here for a while. I do suggest the study visa. Work visas I know have been, Giorgia Meloni has said that they're going to release a bunch of new work visas, especially for Americans, I believe, this year, 2025, and into 2026. The interviews that I've gone on, they've said that no, you need to have residency before we hire you. So it's just like this circle. Like on the government websites, they say that first you need to obtain a job, then you need to apply for the permesso di soggiorno, which is the permit to stay long term. I believe that's 1 year, and then you can renew at the end of your year for another year. You do that 5 times and you get citizenship. So yes, the work force says that you need to get the permesso di soggiorno first. The permesso says that you need to get the job first. So it's basically impossible. It's like a never-ending cycle that you can't make any sense out of. Yes. So what else do I want to speak on here today? I know that this video is getting a little bit long. Yeah, I think I want to start documenting this journey because, as I said in my writing earlier, I dance between 2 worlds. And I hope this is relevant for you guys because in any decision that you're making, whether it be moving or staying in a relationship or choosing anything, any life decision that you're making, there comes a time when you need to decide whether it's time to try harder or whether it's time to release control and just throw everything up in the air and just see what sticks, and allow life to kind of show you what it has in store for you. Because, ultimately we don't want to be forcing things in our life at all. But we definitely want to put forth the effort and try, right? So at the end of my stay here, like I said, I've been here for almost a month now, and I don't want to go back home, believe me. This is my 3rd time to Italy this year, mostly to visit my boyfriend, but also every single time that I come here, I fall more and more in love with the country. This time it's been all about castles and seeing the medieval side of Tivoli and these other small medieval towns all throughout central Italy. It's just been absolutely amazing. Horseback riding through the countryside. It's not just about Rome and like the art, which is amazing too, because I'm an art history major graduate. So it's not just about these fantastic churches, this architecture that just makes you feel like it's so ancient, it's so substantial, and it's just so beautiful because it has history and timelessness, and you feel like you've stepped into another realm, another time. It's not just about all this, it's the people, people that welcome you into their home and sit you down at the table like you're one of the family members and feed you and give you wine and make sure you're good and offer you a place to stay for free. I mean, I've met people out here. I went on a horseback riding adventure yesterday. I went down to Green Verde Ranch in Tagliacozza, which is in the central part of Italy, in the countryside, wine country. And yeah, they invited me I could stay there for free if I helped out with the horses for however long that I wanted to. So I've been offered jobs. I just don't have the citizenship figured out yet. I've been offered places to stay for free. I just don't have the citizenship yet. I have an amazing partner here, and someone that we have a soul connection, and it's not just superficial like things can be in the States. Like, I've never been that kind of a person just to get into superficial relationships, but I don't know what it is, but maybe it's my heritage, my DNA. I just feel like I belong here, and I feel like people are very welcoming to me here. It's just dealing with the bureaucracy of Italian government. I mean, I get it. I understand there's a lot of people that want to move here because it's a beautiful country. The food is incredible. It's healthy. Everything is of high quality. People are relaxed, laid back. They're super welcoming and friendly and everything. Once you come here, you fall in love with it. At least I did. but the bureaucracy is a challenge. And so I thought maybe this would resonate with some people who are attempting to move here, or who would like to move here if that's their dream, as it is mine. So yes, I'm going to be starting a new channel going through the process of relocating to Italy. And, you know, like I said before, as I was creatively writing today outside of a coffee shop, I just feel like I definitely want to continue trying. I want to put effort towards this process because I've never felt at home anywhere. And I feel at home here. Even if I have to come here for 3 months, go back home for 3 months, you know, I have pets at home. Thank goodness I have people that can babysit for me, you know, and I know that it's not the most ideal thing for my dogs. I have 3 dogs at home, but they can keep each other company as long as they have treats coming in every day. You know, they're pretty happy dogs, so I've been blessed in that regard. But yes, I wanted to make a channel for people, and maybe even, now that I'm just thinking about this, we can connect. If you're someone who wants to move to Italy, or even if you want to travel to Italy, I've traveled all around the world, and I would love to host people on trips to come here. I've stayed all over hotels, Airbnbs. I know where ranches are. I know where, you know, all the tourists want to go. I know the spots where you won't see a tourist anywhere, and they speak nothing but Italian. So whatever kind of cultural experience that you're looking for, honestly, Italy has everything that you can possibly think of. I've experienced it all. So yeah, if you're somebody who wants to visit Italy, hit me up, you know, in the comments, and we can definitely work something out that way too. But that's neither here nor there. The point and my intention for this new channel, I suppose, is just to share my experience with you, and it's for me too to be able to process these emotions. I don't have a lot of close friends in the States. I've had a lot of close friends in the States over the years, but one of the reasons why I want to move is I just personally feel that a lot of circles that I have been around and come in contact with over the years, you know, I'm 40 years old. I've met almost everybody in Las Vegas. I was a professional dancer for like 20 years. I've, you know, and I've been a teacher, etc. So I've met all types of people. And I think it's just a cultural preference for me to be more laid back, realistic, soul-centered, heart-centered. I'm not a fake person. I don't have fake friends for status. I don't have fake relationships. I don't do that sort of thing. And I feel like that's kind of a status symbol in America. Who your friends are, what job you have, what car you drive. And like, it's gotten to the point, you know, and I did all that. Like, I've had everything. I've had the life. And it's just really unfulfilling to me. So I'm hoping that if you're feeling the same way, if you are experiencing, you know, negative impacts of the American culture. I love America. I was born there. I am an American. And it's great. It has a lot of great qualities and a lot of great people too. But I feel like over the years, I've become more and more selective over quality, you know, quality over quantity. And it's just coming down to the wire. It's just to the point to where I'm realizing maybe I'm just in the wrong place. I think that cities have their own energetic field, resonances, and countries have the same. The more that I've traveled, the more that I've realized that each place and each space holds a frequency. And it's very important that you vibe with the city that you're in. And you can change as a person over time, as I have. You know, I once was into the club scene and getting paid to be a model and a dancer for 20 years of my life. And then, you know, COVID hit in 2020, and it was like everything was, the whole slate was just wiped clean. And it was like, okay, it's time to grow up. It's time to figure out, you know, something else. I'm getting a little bit older, time to figure something else out. So, we can change as people, and as all of this isn't new information, but I'm just saying that as you grow and change, sometimes it's important that you change locations as well to places that support your personal growth, and to find people that are going to help you progress into the person that you are destined to be. Okay, so with all that said, yeah, I'm gonna leave it here, and I hope you guys check out future videos. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna post or how frequently I'm gonna post, but like I said, this is almost like a personal therapy session for me, and I really hope that it connects with somebody out there. And you don't have to move to Italy, you don't have to be interested in Italy at all. I think that this process could be useful for people moving cities, moving states, moving into any kind of new field, new direction, new friendships, new relationships, and maybe be able to relate with me on some sort of emotional level, because these things are very stressful. And when you want something with all of your heart, and it just doesn't seem to be progressing at the speed that you would like it to, it can be really frustrating. And so I just wanted to create a place and a space that's safe for people to express, and for myself to be able to express how we're feeling. Okay, so if this is helpful for you in any way, shape, or form, thank you so much for being here. I really hope that it is. And I would love to see you guys in the comments, and just check out like who is watching these videos, like who are you on the other end. I would love to know. And yeah, what else do I want to say in closing? Yeah, so if this process goes through, then this channel should be pretty interesting, because it's going to show my moving process, how difficult it is, how challenging things can be. And if it actually works out, I would love nothing more than to have like a video journal of the progress, and to be able to look back and on that. So we're crossing our fingers, we're hoping for the best, and I hope all of you are here to join me on my journey. Whether it works or whether it doesn't, we'll see where I end up on the other side. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.